Hello and welcome to another episode of We Are Funded Trading Plus. Today, Jamie and I are going to figure out whether we agree or disagree.
Social media is misleading new traders by glamorizing the realities of trading.
Well, nice sip. Yeah, 100%. It was ever thus, though, wasn't it? You sell the dream, you sell the lifestyle. It's like, whether it was, I don't know, not that I particularly want to cite him, but Wolf of Wall Street, isn't there? There's a bit at the end where he does the commercial where he's like, if you want to live like me, and I guess he had a more slightly better accent, but, and that was like an infomercial. So it was just ever thus, wasn't it? And usually people are trying to sell a service if they're in the rented Lamborghinis and flown out to Dubai. Dubai seems the hot spot for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've gone for agree rather than strongly disagree because it depends where you're looking and who you're watching.
That's true.
So you can get a more balanced view. I think if people are selling the lifestyle, you'd probably be suspicious. If people are giving you an accurate representation of their wins, losses, taking you on their trading journey with them, then great. But I think it's the people who are promising, follow this, get these results. I think they're the ones that you need to be cautious of. But I think there's a lot of good creators out there, and you just need to find someone who's being a bit more balanced with what they're doing.
Yeah, I think I defaulted to the people I hate the most.
Yeah,
But it's like, listen, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And that is an adage that will serve you well in life, my wise followers.
I mean, well, just to further the point, really, like when we work within affiliates, because we trust what they're putting out, and we do have quite a good filter for weeding out the people that we wouldn't want to work with. So that's where I put it. So there are good people out there, but approach it with caution. Do your own research. Make sure you're happy before you just jump in and try and follow the dream.
Agreed.
Copy trading is a good way to learn how to trade.
It depends what type of copy trading you mean. If it's like, follow my expert advisor and stuff, that probably won't work. Yeah, it depends. It's quite nuanced. It depends who you follow. I mean, copy trading suggests you're doing the same thing as someone else. So probably, yeah, I would disagree that that's the best way to learn. Whereas that's different from, I guess, watching someone who's got a successful strategy and taking out important parts of that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, simply copying someone without knowing why they took that position isn't going to help you. If it was, can you get some benefit from copy trading with some underlying mentoring, research, training, then absolutely, because you could get the confidence that actually, this person's trades are giving results. And then if you can actually get to the why that those positions were taken, I think the question is copy trading good to learn? And I think simply just following what somebody else does without knowing why isn't a good way to learn at all.
It never works.
Well, I mean, you'll know that more than I will. But it may be a good way to get results, but I don't think you're going to understand and be able to replicate those if you were suddenly unable to just copy the trade again.
The problem is when you copy trade is when it goes well, it's great. But then when there starts to be drawdown or the system's not working as well, then people abandon it because you don't understand it. You've not got confidence or faith in it because you don't understand it.
Yeah, that's it. And it comes down to that understanding. So in isolation, no. If it's supported with actually a broader kind of plan to learn and understand the fundamentals of trading, then fair enough. But just by itself, I strongly disagree.
Yeah.
Trading with a small account teaches better risk management.
Leave it there. No, because people, like you say to people, just think of the percentages, Because if you're making like £5 or $5 on a trade, you don't think of the percentages. It just becomes frustrating. But at the same time, we don't want to be putting loads of money in the market. But I think you need to find a threshold where the money is actually meaningful. And it's not. So that for me is where it's meaningful and impactful. So if you actually lose it, it means something, or it triggers the emotions that you're going to want to manage as a trader.
Traders are naturally more talented at trading.
I think trading is a skill to be learned, and with the right discipline and approach, I don't think there's any innate ability that certainly makes someone a good trader. I accept that there's some perhaps personality traits which lean towards it, but I think when you consider the skill and the technical expertise that you need. I don't just think that's a natural inbuilt trait. I think it's learned behavior, and I think anybody with the right approach can learn that behavior.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about skills, I agree. I think people can learn the skills. I don't think it's like a footballer where you're just naturally gifted or not. But I think the natural temperament and mindset, I think that has a bit more significance than maybe you're waiting.
Yeah, but I think you can work around that. So say if you're naturally impulsive, you can set yourself up for success, even though actually you're perhaps struggling with the psychology of the day. You can build in measures where you force yourself to take a break, set timers, you can work around different things, and you can build the good habits, because I think the main thing with habits is they take time to form. So you need to take an approach where you can actually counter perhaps some of your natural, we call them flaws, or disadvantages, and you can get around that. And it's practice. I think it's all learned behavior with perhaps people who are more successful. They've just got that edge when it comes to their approach to psychology. Because I agree, like there are a lot of behavior.
People are more
traits.
chilled.
Yeah,
Some people are more chilled and better, I think, and some people are more douchey.
But I think the fact is that you can learn these skills, and like with Funded Trading Plus, we see people from all backgrounds. I wouldn't say that the gifted people stand out, because you've got a level playing field with the parameters that we've got, and I think they really help people to kind of get over some of those natural traits which might force them to take positions that they wouldn't usually take, because you've got the the parameters which are guide rails really for people and how they approach risk and manage. So I think you can learn your way to be a good trader.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll disagree on that one.
So strongly disagree on that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Trading during major news releases is a good way to make quick profits.
Disagree. I mean, there are people who will coin flip over news and punt, and they'll do well. I mean, I think most firms these days aren't going to pay people out for just pure 50-50 coin flips anymore. I mean, what I'd say to people in that respect is like, well, if you were fully funding the account where you actually are, risking $20,000 to make $20,000 in 30 seconds or whatever it is, then yeah, fair enough, crack on. But you don't. People only want to do that where they'll smash through the drawdown, but then potentially have the upside as well. So no, in the general sense of like proper, funding the full account, it's not sensible trading, and no one will behave like that. They only do it on props, which props are pretty wise to. So practically and theoretically with props, it's not a good way to make money quickly.
It's too risky. It's too volatile. I think it is, like you say, a coin flip. And even if it's going, it starts going direction you want, it can just as easily reverse and just absolutely, blow your account too quickly. I think in the long term, all that's going to do is to lose rather than win, and you'll impulsively do behaviours that you wouldn't normally do. So I think it's best avoided, because there's no guarantee. You can think you've read the news, the pre-releases, and you think it's where it's going, but you've got that turmoil at the point that it gets released, and I just think you just can't sort of get against that.
It is stressful. Well, when we used to do our live trade room years ago, we told everyone it was. We used to do a demo news trading event to try and take people's itchiness away from it and do things like that. I mean, it's a relatively small position sizing, but yeah, it's a road to disaster. It's one of the things that new traders do. They're like, oh, I'll have a scaling to losing positions, or I'll trade news, and then eventually they find out it's not very fruitful.
Patience is the most important skill a successful trader should have.
Yeah, patience is probably the most. I mean, there's so many important ones, but no, patience and what it implies is really important. Like just being able to wait and sit on your hands, because trading's weird. Because it's like in most jobs and most sort of things in life, you're rewarded for doing more, and you're rewarded doing for more, working harder, more hours, etc., etc. Whereas trading is a case of like literally sitting on your hands and doing less is often more, and that's a really, really difficult shift for people to do. It's just be patient and wait for the right setup to come and not be bored and get into a bad setup. Very, very difficult.
Well, the thing is, I disagree, because I could be the most patient person in the world. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be successful in trading if I don't hone the other skills that I need, being able to read charts, being able to plan my trade.
They're just slightly less important, though.
Well, that's why I'm disagreeing and strongly disagreeing. I just think, I could be sat meditating on the perfect time to take a trade. If I don't know what that time is, then I'm going to be pretty unsuccessful.
I mean, you're saying if you're slightly impatient but still got amazing skills in other areas, it could sort of outweigh the drawbacks.
I'm just saying it's more of a balance and patience being the key, I think. But what do I know? Really? Yeah.
I'm sure you'll agree with me. It's time to wrap that episode up. So thank you very much for watching. We are Funded Trading Plus.